$12.2 billion. Woo! Somebody is in the money. That is a lot of cheddar. That's how much the Lakers just sold. Definitely by far and away the most expensive and priciest NBA franchise up until now. They were ranked in sports franchises number 5. Now they bumped up to number 3. Leading the charge in that is, we all know that, the Dallas Cowboys. And funny enough, the New York Giants, which kind of had me thinking, I know they're in New York and whatnot, but they are on the list. The Los Angeles Lakers. Bob Iger, the Disney guy, he is one of the purchasers of this. Bob Iger and Josh Kushner, not Jared, but Josh Kushner, his younger brother, and he is worth a shit ton, a lot of more money. He's got a couple of, if not a few, billion in the bank. And that leads me to question, and also Bob Iger, he got a little bit of money too. He was the head of Disney and ESPN as we know it for a very, very long time. So his net worth is roughly, definitely under $1 billion, 600-700 million. Kushner's is roughly 2-3 billion. So in my mind, I'm trying to think, you don't have to have the money to buy these teams. You don't actually have to have the money up front. You got to have a deposit like we all do for an apartment. Not me, I got my own shit, but like y'all do for apartment or what have you, any type of situation. So they had to have, because both of them combined are nowhere near 12.5 billion. So how did this happen? How do you get a franchise worth triple and quadruple both y'all net worth combined? This is crazy to me. We know the Kushners, we know they're good for buying up every and anything, properties. That's kind of what they're known for. Jared Kushner, as you know, that's his brother. He kind of one of the world's rulers, one of the rulers behind the scenes, the deep state type of rulers in America. President is definitely listening to him. When a Kushner does one thing, it's all of them combined get that credit. And Bob Iger, they were. Let's go ahead and look at the clip and see how this actually transpired here.
Ona, good morning to you. What more can you tell us about how this came to happen?
Yeah, so this came together incredibly fast. So Josh Kushner and Bob Iger were involved in the expansion process in Las Vegas. They had a bid group together.
Incredibly fast.
It was the bidding in Las Vegas was getting extremely high. At some point, they looked around and said, "Why are we bidding on an expansion team? Before we do this, let's call and see if the Lakers are available." They live in Los Angeles.
So it's getting serious now. She's already revealed a couple of gems. The NBA that we already known about that's in the works, but it's actually in the works. They're going to just announce this, boom, and drop a bomb on us. Las Vegas got an NBA team. What will they be called? So behind the scenes, they were trying to get that team, but they figured it was so much more of an investment, over $12.2 billion. Wow. To get it, to start a new expansion team. Damn, it had to be more than that if you reverted back to buying the Lakers and thought that was a deal. 12.5 to be exact.
Angeles. Obviously Bob Iger used to run our company here. And is an avid NBA fan. He used to sit courtside at Clipper games all the time. So they called Mark Walter. I am told this was on Sunday that they called Mark Walter and said, "Hey, before we go forward with the Las Vegas deal, are the Lakers available? Could we make you an offer for the Lakers?" And Mark Walter wasn't interested in selling, but the number they discussed, $12.5 billion, Shay, was something that he had to think about. And he had, I think, 1 or 2 days to think about it before this started moving forward, before they had to move forward with the expansion process. But, Mark Walter purchased the Lakers just last year. That went through in 2025. It was approved by the Board of Governors at $10 billion. So from October of last year to right now, he just made $2.5 billion on the Los Angeles Lakers. I don't.
$2.5 billion profit in a year or so's time. Come on now. Definitely, like I said, by far and away, the largest and fastest flip in history that we known about. Definitely in sports history for sure. It's not the largest flip because guys have bought their franchises for hundreds of millions of dollars, like a Jerry Jones for like $100 million or whatever in the 80s. And you know how much it's worth today, 15, 16 billion. So that's a great return on his investment. But I'm saying this is the fastest, quickest turnaround. Old guy gets $2.5 billion. Man, in less than 2 years' time, roughly. It all kind of, and they have to, Bob Iger and Kushner have to have a group. That's what it says. They're part of a group. They have to have more owners in this, but those are the big names they want us to recognize and take from this because they have the majority ownership.
Don't think he was looking to sell, but when somebody makes you an offer you can't refuse, I think it was a business opportunity you couldn't say no to. And it's obviously a mind-boggling morning here in Los Angeles. I know where I was when I got a tip late last night that this was happening.
So she's saying, and she has a lot of inside information, this lady, whoever she is, Ramona, she gets a little, she gets some information, boy. So she said that he wasn't even really thinking about selling, but he was made an offer that he could not refuse. $2.5 billion over any other franchise that sold. Can you refuse that? That is generational plus generational on generational on generational wealth. It cannot be stopped. You cannot make that in many, many lifetimes. That's chump change to him. I'm not sure how much he's worth. I think like 6 or 7 billion now. It went up significantly. But is money really the factor if you're 80 and 90 and 100 years old? No. But I guess it is.
And the person who called me said, "Are you sitting down?" And I'm sitting down now, but I'm still kind of shaking my head at how this came together so quickly.
I mean, these are zeros and numbers I can't even fathom, let alone this all happening like over the weekend. And now what day is it? Wednesday? Oh my goodness. Okay, so Ramona, what more can you tell us about the group that is buying the Lakers now?
The group.
Yeah, so Josh Kushner, obviously the brother of Jared Kushner, his group recently purchased a minority stake in the San Francisco Giants, and it's called Thrive Eternal. So he runs Thrive Capital, but there's a branch of it called Thrive Eternal, which is really interested in iconic brands and restoring iconic brands. So this obviously fits what they're looking to do here, and this is their second investment. The first was a minority stake in the Giants, but Bob Iger, I don't think you need much introduction to him. He was the chairman of the Disney company for a long time and recently retired. I guess he's going back to work pretty quick.
So the Kushners already bought a minority stake in the San Francisco Giants. So they are invested in California sports. They just buying up everything. Go ahead and buy up all the properties and all the expensive properties. And they also and buy and sell all throughout globally. So this ain't nothing. In a long-term thinking, they know that this is going to be made up very, very fast. You got Luka, and they have a whole new set of guys, a whole new look. Kind of funny that this actually happened right after LeBron left. This happened right after LeBron left, because if LeBron was on this team, it would probably have gone up to 13 billion easily. But what they are buying, they are not, because you think to yourself, why is an NBA franchise so damn much? If you have a stadium, the jerseys and stuff that they wear, the shoes are pretty much their own. Even if the franchise supplied them. So what? It's a jersey. You get the jersey, shorts, and all this other equipment. That is pennies. What is the money going to? All the top execs say if they did, like, why are things worth that much? You know why? It's the name, it's the legacy. It is the Kobe Bryants, the Shaqs, the championships, the banners up in the rafters. It's about all that. Courtside seats, celebrities. That all encompasses the value of this team. And that name, Los Angeles Lakers, baby. And that brand. Top brands in sports. Very noticeable.
Quickly, getting back to around the Los Angeles Lakers, but these are just two avid sports fans, and they see an incredible opportunity. And how did the Lakers make? And how did their value go up? $2.5 billion in
Josh Kushner.
I can't quite do the math this early in the morning in 9 months, but it's
Iger, 75 years old.
Is going on right now, and I think the teams that are being talked about in Las Vegas and Seattle, that number is getting so high that it puts into perspective the value of iconic brands like the Los Angeles Lakers.
No doubt. Okay, so the Lakers under new ownership now for $12.5 billion. Just this morning, Ramona Shelburne, we appreciate you waking up early with us out there in LA and giving us this news. Thank you.
That was very interesting. Let me know if y'all think that just the quickness in when this happened and how it went down, who else was involved? Who else was bidding? Who will own Las Vegas, the expansion team right now or next? Who's next in line for that? So a lot of questions need to be answered regarding this, and we'll see how it's ran. We'll see we'll see if they keep things in place or they change up everything, and we'll see if they win some championships. Anyway, thank y'all for listening. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.